you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
That's not where it goes. The Keyblade's supposed to be over here. Massage gun's right here. No, that shit's over there. God, and man, I just oh oh. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Wow, took me long enough. Sorry, everyone. You kind of caught me in the middle of restructuring, but hey, welcome. I'm happy. I'm finally doing this. Welcome to my first ever movie review. Yeah, took me 2 years since I first announced that I was going to be doing this. Don't really have a good explanation, but I should put it at the end of the video. Personal shit, life, the world. But yeah, here I am. I'm reviewing movies. And I decided that, hey, since it's Christmas time, might as well start off with a movie that truly represents what the meaning of Christmas actually is. Or one of its many meanings. One of those many meanings being none other than family. So, of course, in order to truly captivate the meaning of family and the meaning of Christmas, I decided to talk about one of my favorite family movies, The Incredibles. That's right, The Incredibles. Possibly one of, if not the best family film you will ever see in your life. Not only is this movie basically about a man who, while basically getting sick and tired of the monotony and mundanity of his life, tries to relive the glory days of his youth, while coming to understand that, well, unfortunately, in doing so, he's undermining the people in his life by putting both himself and them in mortal danger. And in doing so, he learns to not only appreciate his family, but learns to respect them and work with them to fix both his and their own mistakes. And it just so happens that this is a badass superhero movie as well. Yeah, I will be dead serious when I say that The Incredibles is also one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, because the superhero shit isn't just well done and isn't just well made, but it's well put together in a way that I personally could never expect from a superhero movie. When it comes down to it, The Incredibles is just that good of a film, and I want my first ever movie review to be about a movie that I genuinely like. I know most movie reviewers go on and talk about films that they don't like, but fuck it, I'm starting off with one I love. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, this movie's just straight up a 9 out of 10. I'm just gonna give you my fucking ranking now, because why the hell wouldn't I? It is that goddamn good. So without further ado, I hope you all enjoy me basically raving for however long this video is going to be about The Incredibles. Seriously, it's a blast. So the movie opens up in honestly a really creative way by literally just having the superheroes interviewed like normal people just doing a basic ass job. Not only does it endear you to the fact that this is a world where superheroes exist, but it also shows that superheroes are so common nowadays that, I mean, they're basically kind of like, say, your plumber or, you know, your electrician. No offense or, you know, denouncing to plumbers or electricians, you guys are the real heroes, but at the end of the day, I just gotta say that this is a really good way of opening up the film. It really allows you to get to know the, you know, big characters right off the bat. You get to see none other than Mr. Incredible, or, voiced by Craig T. Nelson. You get to meet Elastigirl, voiced by, Holly Hunter. And, of course, Samuel L. Jackson clearly playing himself. No, I'm just kidding. It's Frozone. The coolest cat on the bag. And it's honestly really cool to just watch these characters interact and talk to each other. Really just talk in general. It's just fun to see these characters acting like everyday average people. Plus, the movie, right off the bat, introduces a really cool juxtaposition that is going to be very easily contradicted in the next few scenes.
Sometimes I think I just like the simple life, relax a little and raise a family.
Settle down, are you kidding? I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs. Girls, come on. Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now, the film proper starts off with an honestly pretty cool action scene. It's very basic and pretty straightforward, but it introduces us to Mr. Incredible's character in an honestly really fun way. We get to see that his superpowers and his superhero work is something that he's not only used to, but he's incredibly capable in. Seriously, he's able to save a cat out of a tree and stop criminals in the very swift movement. It's all pretty dang cool. Then we meet this little fucker.
Cool, ready for takeoff.
What the? Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm Incrediboy.
What? No. You're that kid from the fan club. Brody, buddy.
My name is Incrediboy.
And don't stand so close to me. Don't stand so close to me. Seriously, back the fuck up. So after that gets handled, Mr. Incredible goes on to save lives, take names, and claim some dames. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this whole saving people opening that we end up getting is generally pretty damn good. Not only is it really fun to just see superheroes work, but we don't even really need an explanation for any of the superheroes, supervillains, and the random powers that we end up getting to see everywhere. It's fun. And this little shit shows back up.
Hey, aren't you curious about how I get around so fast? See, I have these rocket boots.
Go
They're
home,
made-
buddy.
What?
Now.
Can we talk? You always say be true to yourself, but you never say which part of yourself to be true to. Well, I finally figured out who I am. I am your ward. Incrediboy!
No, you're not Increda anything. No, what you're going to be is the father of 3 singing chipmunks, alright? Now let the man do his work. Jesus Christ, I swear to God, I really hope I don't have to deal with fanboys like him one day. Ugh, the curse of popularity! So yeah, Incrediblow over here actually screws things up even more, and Mr. Incredible has to once again show off his incredible skills by saving a train full of people. Because superhero films are just obsessed with trains. Seriously, name a single superhero movie in the past, I don't know, decade after this that didn't have a train in it. I bet you can't. Bet you can't name it. Alright, anyway. After Mr. Incredible does it, he realizes he's late, and he's gotta get him to the church on time.
I was doing anything later. I didn't realize you'd actually forgotten. I thought it was playful banter.
It was playful banter.
Cutting it kind of close, don't you think?
You need to be more flexible.
I love you, but if we're gonna make this work, you gotta be more than Mr. Incredible. You know that, don't you?
So long as you both shall live.
I do.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty much just the main message our main character has to learn, spelled out for you right there through very easily, well put together, and very organic dialogue. That is how you get a message across. 2 people talking to each other like they are real. And I mean, with all this cool shit, the fact that the superhero stuff looks great already, the characters seem to be well put together. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's the worst that could happen to these people? What is the worst that could happen?
In a stunning turn of events, a superhero is being sued for saving someone who apparently didn't want to be saved. The plaintiff, Oliver Sansuit, who was foiled in his attempted suicide by Mr. Incredible, has filed suit against the famed superhero in Superior Court.
Did not expect that. My bad, everybody. I jinxed it. That was on me. That was on me. My bad. After 15 years of no superhero work of any kind happening, we end up getting to see that, unfortunately, Billy Bob over here is now stuck in a, well, stinking dead-end job. But even though he's trapped in a pretty shitty place, he's at least still trying to help people.
Listen closely. I'd like to help you, but I can't. I'd like to tell you to take a copy of your policy to Norma Wilcox, W-I-L-C-O-X, on the 3rd floor, but I can't. I also do not advise you to fill out and file a WS-2475 form with our legal department on the 2nd floor. I would not expect someone to get back to you quickly to resolve the matter. I'd like to help, but there's nothing I can do.
Oh, hey, man.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I know you're upset. Pretend to be upset.
I honestly don't even really have a joke here. Just fuck shitty insurance companies that do this. Yeah, denying claims of the people who actively are fully covered by you. Yeah, fuck those guys. Right up the butt. Up the ass. Okay, I did have a joke. After getting chewed out by his boss for no other reason than his boss is a white guy chewing out another white guy for doing something a white guy shouldn't do in the 50s, you know, being a decent fucking person, we end up getting introduced to none other than the Incredikids, Dash and Violet, both played by Spencer Fox and Sarah Vowell. Sarah, we're just gonna call her Sarah from now on. And honestly, I like the introduction these two characters get. Dash is in trouble in the principal's office because he used his super speed to pull off a prank, which, by the way, coolest fucking way to introduce a super speed character. Just have them not get caught on camera and have the only other superpowered person in the room realize that they're actually responsible. And then we get to Violet, whose, you know, invisibility is introduced by her stalking her crush. Because, yeah, that's normal.
Dash, this is the 3rd time this year you've been sent to the office. We need to find a better outlet. A more constructive outlet.
Maybe I could if you'd let me go out for sports.
Honey, you know why we can't do that.
But I promise I'll slow up. I'll only be the best by a tiny bit.
Dash, old Robert Parr, you are an incredibly competitive boy. And a bit of a show-off. The last thing you need is temptation.
You always say, do your best, but you don't really mean it. Why can't I do the best that I can do?
Right now, honey, the world just wants us to fit in, and to fit in, we just gotta be like everybody else.
But Dad always said our powers were nothing to be ashamed of. Our powers made us special.
Everyone's special, Dash.
Which is another way of saying no one is.
And that, my friends, is how you burn egalitarianism. Ha ha ha! I see the young man is a sophisticated type. I don't know where this joke is going. Let's just move on so I can, you know, sound smart again. So that night, we get to see the entire family have dinner with each other, and we're pretty much able to see exactly how dysfunctional this family is right off the bat. They're not really engaging with each other that well. Obviously, Mr. Incredible is distracted until, well, the prospect of superheroes is brought up, or powers in general. He clearly isn't really focused on his kids. If not, he'd notice how moody his teenage daughter was being. And it seems like the only one here who's having a good time is, well, the baby, Jack, who is, unfortunately, the main character of the 2nd movie. I will not be elaborating further on that. You can just watch the 2nd movie and see what I mean. But yeah, like, thanks to the incredibly intelligent and well put together emotions that are displayed on the characters' faces, the way they react to each other, the slight bits of dialogue you hear here and there, it really does go to show you that this is a family that does love each other, but they just don't really respect each other or actively, treat each other with, well, any amount of affection. Honestly, just really intelligent and makes them feel like a real family. And not a hint of exposition anywhere.
Do something! Don't just stand there! I need you to intervene!
You want me to intervene? Okay, I'm intervening. I'm intervening!
Sister Violet, let go of your brother!
Obviously, when someone else shows up, the family actually has to look like, well, a stable family, and we get reintroduced to Frozone in a honestly pretty cool way.
Oh, I like it when it shatters.
I'll be back later.
Hey, where are you two going?
It's Wednesday.
Bowling night.
So, obviously, these two men aren't really handling any type of balls that I'm looking at, and we get to basically see in this scene that the two of them are more or less just doing hero work in secret, being vigilantes. And I also like how this scene kind of, well, encompasses the fact that, well, sure, some heroes probably had time adjusting to the normal, mundane day-to-day life, but it also kind of answers a question I'm sure you had in the back of your head, which is why did none of the heroes just straight up become vigilantes? Well, this scene pretty much answers it in a very, very solid and fun way.
Dehydrated, Bob! You're out of ice? You can't run out of ice! I thought you could use the water in the air! There is no water in this air! What's your excuse? You run out of muscle? I can't just go smashing through walls! The building's getting weaker by the second! It's gonna come down on top of it! I wanted to go bowling! We look like bad guys! Incompetent bad guys! Let's go freeze!
Alright, had your drink. Now, I want
I
you
know,
to...
I know. Freeze. That was way too close. We are not doing that again.
Verify you want to switch targets. Over.
Trust me, this is the one he's been looking for.
Well, that's not inconspicuous. That's not suspicious. Jesus, I guess everybody's spying on everyone. Violet's stalking a boyfriend, this hot old lady stalking Mr. Incredible. I guess we all just stalking people today. Shit, maybe this movie really was ahead of its time. When, of course, Mr. Incredidad goes back home, him and Stretch Armstrong don't really have the friendliest of conversations, as obviously him doing vigilante work is also, again, answered by how him apparently doing this in the past has kind of uprooted their family in the past and has kind of screwed things up for him. So yeah, dick move, guy. Dick move. But even with all that being said, I really do like this conversation. It goes to show that even though Elastigirl is the matriarch of the family, and this is the 50s, thanks to her stretching powers, we're able to visually see that she's, well, not unequal in this. She is a complete and total equal in this entire fucking family movie, which I love. I love it to death. It is great. Amazing. This was done in 2004, damn it. But even with all that being said, I just gotta say that the argument, which again, I can't show much of, but the argument itself really does hit home both of these characters' issues. Bob is just tired of the mundanity in life and wants some type of freedom, and of course, Helen just wants to protect her family. Obviously, one is right and the other is wrong, but they both make incredibly great cases for their points, even if, again, one is clearly in the wrong here. The next day, however, we get to see that, well, Big Billy Bob Jenkins over here just so happens to be called into his boss's office, and to say how infuriating this scene made me as a kid, and makes me even more as an adult, is just really, really freaking understated.
What I mean by cooperative cogs? Look at me when I'm talking to you, Par!
That man out there, he needs help.
Do not change the subject, Bob. We're discussing your attitude.
He is getting mugged.
Well, let's hope we don't cover him.
I'll be right back.
Stop right now, or you're fired.
Close the door. You were this close to losing your...
Pure, unadulterated satisfaction. And that's why I could never work in retail or fast food ever again. In fact, people who have ever disrespected, a message to every single customer who's ever been mean to a retail or fast food worker, this is what you deserve. When Bob gets home after being rightfully fired, he notices that someone left a little gift for him. A tablet with, well, a business pitch on it. Turns out that hot old lady from before has decided that he needs to be recruited to use his incredible powers to be Mr. Incredible once again, but for a government agency of sorts, in an attempt to try and, get him back out there into the game. Obviously, he's going to be paid handsomely for his super services, and because of that, he'll basically be able to provide for his family while doing what he always really wanted to do. And that's, of course, be the great, epic superhero that he knows he can be. And I truly do love how this is pitched to him. It really does make it seem like it's a great idea for him because, hey, he's able to bring home the bacon to, provide enough protein for the bread factory his wife got back there. Am I right, guys? Am I right, guys? Ha ha! Oh, an explosion. Yeah, that happened. I probably should have made a joke about that, but... moving on.
You are one distracted guy.
Am I? I don't mean to be.
I know you miss being a hero and your job is frustrating, and I just want you to know how much it means to me that you stay at it anyway.
Honey, about the job.
What?
Something's happened.
What?
What? The company is sending me to a conference.
A conference?
Out of town, and I'm just going to be gone for a few days.
I've never sent you to a conference before. This is good, isn't it?
Yes.
You see? They're finally recognizing your talents. You're moving up.
Yes.
Honey. Oh, this is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
I mean, what else can I say about this? Like, just from the incredibly intelligent and well-detailed emotions you see on the character's face, can you fully understand why he's lying to his wife? Like, he's clearly trying to justify it to himself. He's trying to give himself some reason, but you can see that from the earlier conversation or pitch he was given from Mirage that he's already kind of come to a pretty good conclusion. He's made up his mind. He has the idea, and it works because, well, he's getting what he wants. He's able to give his family what they want. And he really is coming to the conclusion that this is a positive outlook on life. Like, he genuinely believes that this is the best way to go. And hell, when I was a kid, even I thought it was a good idea. Obviously, with the beauty of hindsight, we know this is going to go up Schitt's Creek without a, wooden paddle. But seriously, like, God damn it, get your bag, man, get your bag. And Mr. Incredible's off to the races. He's being prepped on his assignments. He's being told what to do, shoved into the canisters, and fired down onto the island. And honestly, I'm gonna be real here. This, getting Mr. Incredible ready to kick ass again scene is pretty cool. Like, it really is. We get to know what the big robot he's fighting, the Omnidroid, is, and we also get to see some pretty cool landscapes. The island, which is honestly the best location in the entire fucking film. Seriously, this island just has a personality of its own with its deep jungles and, of course, the claustrophobia you get to see from Mr. Incredible hunting down a potential predator and not prey. Then we get one of the best action scenes in the entire goddamn film. Seriously. Mr. Incredible versus the Omnidroid is just that goddamn good. From the camera work, to the expressions, to just how this fucking thing moves. I swear to God, it's like a mix between a spider and an octopus. I get it's very basic by today's standards, but seriously, the way the animators were able to give the Omnidroid such an intimidating presence with just very simple yet fast and sporadic movements is just really freaking awesome. Not only that, but the way it uses its own body and its versatility is just super fucking cool. I mean, sure, you got big bad guys like Ultron from the Avengers that move in a very realistically humanoid way, but I would honestly take a simple robot that moves, you know, in a more original way over something like Ultron any day, because Jesus Christ, just look at this thing. Not only was this thing scary, but watching Mr. Incredible try to find ways to outsmart it and outdo it in the new locations he's literally thrust in on this island is awesome. It shows that he's still got that superhero mojo that made him Mr. Incredible.
Surprising. We must bring him back. Sound the all clear and invite him to dinner.
So after briefly reliving his glory days, Mr. Incredidad is able to live a pretty decent and obviously seems to be living a much better life. Again, the film clearly trying to make a case for us, and of course showing Bob making a case for himself, that what he did was 100% okay. He's able to buy a new car, he's able to rekindle the lovely life with his wife, and is able to spend a lot of time with his children. Honestly, I'm kind of loving this. The way this whole thing gets pulled together, it just feels fantastic. But of course, like every good man, you're gonna have to need a good suit. And unfortunately, his suit got a little fucked up, so,
I'm an old friend. I just wanted
All visitors are required to make
Get back, Rolf. Go check the electric fence or something. What is it? Who are you? What do you want? Oh my God, you've gotten fat. Come in, come.